I first began therapy, I came to understand something that I'd never been able to articulate before. That at the time, my wasn't born from who I was, but from how I'd come to perceive my own inner world. I had treated it like something dangerous, something too vast, too intense, too uncontrollable to be trusted. I was born with a strong emotional sensitivity, and over the years it became layered with repressed memories and unresolved emotional complexes, all of them quietly accumulating beneath the surface. And when the pressure became too great, it didn't simply surface, it broke through. In those moments, it felt less like I was feeling my emotions and more like I was being overtaken by them.
As if something within me had finally overflowed its boundaries.
En un intento de dejar salir todo aquello que llevaba dentro, estos sentimientos acababan desencadenando reacciones emocionales irracionales. Ira, tristeza, celos, como si, por momentos, me estaban poseando. Y en ese estado, terminaba creando grietos entre los demás y yo, distanciándome de personas que en realidad no quería perder. Learning about psychology, and particularly Carl Jung's theories about psychoanalysis, have helped me develop a deeper understanding of my inner world. I think of it as a kind of spring cleaning for my unconscious, bringing hidden thoughts, patterns, and emotions into the open, and clearing out what had been sitting unnoticed for years. Through that process, I've not only gained insight into how my mind works, but also learned more about who I am as a person. Jung begins with a simple but unsettling idea. Much of what we are is not fully known to us. Dreams, in his view, are not random strings of images from the imagination, but a form of internal revelation. They give shape to what consciousness cannot yet see. They translate the hidden layers of the psyche into symbolic form. He writes, quote, "A man likes to believe that he is the master of his soul, but beneath that belief lie unconscious forces quietly shaping decisions, moods, and behavior far more than we can ever acknowledge. However, dreams don't speak in the language of logic. They speak in images." Jung notes that, quote, "The images produced in dreams are much more picturesque and vivid than anything we ever encounter in waking thought. In dreams, mundane objects and even memories become charged with meaning. A train, an animal, an old house you grew up in, an old forgotten friend from your childhood. No longer just what they are, but what they might represent within the deeper architecture of the psyche." And yet, Jung warns against something we often crave: simple answers. There is no universal dictionary of dreams. A symbol cannot be fixed to a single meaning. It must be understood in context, shaped by the dreamer's life, their emotional state, their personal associations, the patterns that repeat over time, and sometimes even deeper archetypal structures that seem to emerge from across human experience. Jung not only believed in a personal unconscious, but also in a collective one. He believed since the dawn of humanity, when we were simple apes first becoming aware of our unconscious, we began to use recurring symbols and motifs to describe different aspects of it. Symbols that appear throughout multiple, often completely disconnected cultures. This is a reason why he was so fascinated with mythology, with alchemy. Many great fables and stories, from Horus to Icarus to Jesus Christ, all seem to be making profound observations about the human psyche in a universally understood language like art. A snake, for instance, is never just a snake. For one person, it may signal fear. For another, healing. For another, transformation itself. Meaning is not given, it's discovered. Perhaps Jung's most practical insight is this: dreams often act as a correction. When consciousness becomes too narrow, too proud, too rational, too afraid, too controlled, the unconscious responds. It produces images that restore balance, as if the psyche is constantly trying to heal its own imbalance. He suggests that many dreams attempt to, quote, "correct the attitude of consciousness." So the psyche speaks in opposition to itself. Strength is met with vulnerability, denial with emotional intensity, certainty with chaos. And to understand a dream, Jung insists that there is no shortcut. Quote, "To understand it, you must examine it from every aspect." A dream, he suggests, is not a puzzle with a single solution, but an unfamiliar object slowly turned over in the hands, studied again and again and again until its shape begins to reveal itself. Meaning does not arrive all at once. It emerges gradually, in layers, like something coming into focus from the dark.
Bienvenido a tu nueva vida, Álvaro.
Al final de este proceso, el enfoque cambió. Ya no intentaba simplemente explicar mis experiencias. Estaba aprendiendo a leerlas, a tratar mi mundo interior no como un ruido que debía silenciarse, sino como un lenguaje que debería descifrarse. I began by writing down dreams the moment I woke. Before they could dissolve into the logic of the day, I listed every symbol that lingered, no matter how strange, fragmented, or insignificant it might have appeared. Y entonces me pregunté, ¿qué significa esta imagen para mí, personalmente? No en un sentido universal ni académico, sino en el lenguaje privado de mi propia vida emocional. ¿En qué parte de mi mundo consciente, si es que lo hace, resuena o se refleja? Over time, I learned to step back and notice patterns, to ask whether a dream might be compensating for something my conscious mind refused to see, whether it was restoring balance where my waking attitudes had become rigid or incomplete. Dejé de tratar los sueños como eventos aislados y empecé a verlos como capítulos de una conversación más larga, una que se repetía con variaciones, regresando una y otra vez a los mismos temas emocionales. Because for Jung, and eventually for me in my own way, the real question was never just what a dream meant on its surface. It was this: what is my unconscious trying to show me that my conscious mind is missing? This has been Álvaro Rubio. Thank you so much for watching.